What is up here, guys? I'm super excited right now because with the release of Dual Power, we got a ass ton of new Dark Magician support, and I'm just so excited to bring it to you guys. I love the Dark Magician. It's been my favorite archetype from the original series since before I could remember. I've loved the Dark Magician style, and I've loved, since they rebooted it and made it an actual archetype, I've loved the play style of kind of like an aggressive stun. And I love every time it gets some new support. And this time it's gotten more direct support than it has really in the last couple of years. We know we got Keeper of Dragonic Magic, which wasn't really the greatest support you could have got. So Dual Power is really exciting because we actually got quite a few things in Dual Power that really help the deck function. And one of the most excellent cards that we got out of Dual Power was the Dark Cat. Just kidding, guys. We got the Ritual Monster. So the Ritual Monster is really cool because it's summoned off of Chaos form, which of course we can search. So this is my ideal build for it. I tried to incorporate it into the deck without making the deck revolve around it. So there's going to be no incantations or anything like that. This is more of a Dark Magician plus the Ritual. So not so much the Ritual Monster. This is just how I like to play the Ritual. I want it to be more of a power play for the Dark Magician deck and not the deck. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Also, just quick commentary, the artwork on Dark Cavalry is really cool though. So moving on to the deck profile. We have, of course, the triple Dark Magician. We got the new art, got to represent that new art. It's really nice. We got the last art, and then we got the first art. These are definitely integral to the deck. You cannot play without any less than 3 Dark Magician. The deck basically needs the Dark Magician to function, and even the Chaos needs to function with the Dark Magicians in the deck most likely, or you can play with them in your hand. So moving on from the 3 Dark Magicians, we're playing 3 Magician of Chaos. Magician of Chaos is the new ritual. It's not... We have another ritual, which is the Magician of Max Chaos, or Chaos Max, I don't remember. But it's not that one. This is the new one we just got in Dual Power, and this guy is awesome. So every time a spell or trap is activated, he will get to pop a card on the field. That's really great, and it's even better when you think about the fact that he'll trigger off of your opponent's cards as well. So he's really cool. He has a secondary effect where he summons a Chaos or Blacklist or Soldier Ritual monster from your hand. That's not really that good, especially considered it's from your hand. I wouldn't even play the Chaos Max Magician when it comes out because it's not worth trying to get it into your hand just for it to sit in your hand and wait for Magician of Chaos to blow up. If it was from deck, it'd be a little more worth it, and I'm definitely not going to play a Blacklist or Soldier just so it can be special summoned from my hand in case this guy dies. Another little quick note, he does become Dark Magician while he's on the field, so he's protected by your Eternal Soul, and when he's summoned, he does activate the circle. So the card's really great for it, and it's really cool to see this deck get some really good ritual support. I've been playtesting with this deck build for a while beforehand, and then I played with the physical cards since the Dual Power came out, and this is pretty much the ratios I think the best. I tried playing with 2 Chaos and I didn't see them enough, and I've tinkered with the ratios on the ritual spells, so this is where I've kind of gotten. Then we got 3 Apprentice Illusion Magician. This is a really good one. Of course, she ditches a card to search a Dark Magician from your hand, or to your hand. She can enable a lot of combos, especially in multiples, and she's just a really great searcher for the deck. It's pretty impermanent to get to your Dark Magicians, and it's pretty good. Unfortunately, she can't search the Magician of Chaos, but there's a spell that can do that, so it's alright, I guess. Moving on, just some real quick commentary. I ended up cutting off the Magician of Dark Illusion. I believed this deck, this card has been good in the past builds, but it doesn't do anything going first. And the idea with the ritual is to capitalize as much as you possibly can on the first turn, and even the second turn if you're forced to go second. You can break boards with the Magician. So it's just not playable in my opinion right now, or at least in this build. Waiting on him to summon just isn't as good as it was when he first came out, and even then it wasn't that good. Moving on, we got 3 Magician's Rod. Magician's Rod is of course a very great card for the deck. It searches all your spell and traps as long as it lists Dark Magician in the card text. And this makes him pretty useful because it turns him into a Manju for Chaos form. So if you're short a ritual spell and you have the monster, you can do some interesting things with it. So you can always search the Chaos, or the Chaos form, yeah. And that really adds some versatility to the deck as well. And then final monster, I'm running triple Lash, Blossom, and Joyous Spring. Hand traps, slow your opponent down if they end up going first. It's a little bit, you can play anything else you want here, but Ash Blossom was my choice. I don't have the Thanos Dragon, so Ash Blossom was my go-to. Moving on, we are main decking up, of course, 3 Dark Magical Circle. Dark Magical Circle is not the soul, because that's a different card in this deck, but it is definitely your most offensive and draw card. Because when a Dark Magician or even Magician of Chaos is summoned, you can banish a monster on field. So that makes the card extremely versatile, as well as it can add a spell or trap that lists Dark Magician from the top 3 cards of your deck, or a Dark Magician. So it's another card to get you your Dark Magician to hand, or some support that you might need, say Eternal Soul or Navigation. Moving on, this build I'm testing out 3 Pot of Extravagance. I'm going to try and make a build later with different draw engines like the Spellbook, plus Allures, and then try Pot of Desires in some of it, or in a build or 2. Right now, Pot of Extravagance is an instant +2. You're not caring too much about the extra deck. I am playing Eye of Timaeus, but that's more for versatility. If you can do it, you can do it kind of thing. And it's very, very fun to do. But Pot of Extravagance doesn't hurt you too much. You don't see it as much as you probably would like to. That's kind of why I want to try and test other draw engines. But for now, this is what I'm playing. Let me know if you guys want to see the other draw engines builds. They might be better suited to your guys' playstyles or whatever. So, or budgets, especially. These cards are pretty expensive. So moving on, we've got 2 pre-preparation of rites. This searches your Chaos Max, or Chaos Magician. And it is just an amazing ritual. You can play around a lot with this. If you opened, say you opened Apprentice and one of your ritual spells you're playing, you can discard one of the ritual spells. So you opened Apprentice, one of the ritual spells in this. You can discard one of the ritual spells from your hand and search the Dark Magician with Apprentice. And then you can activate Preparation of Rites to search your Magician of Chaos, and then you can add the ritual that you discarded off for Apprentice back from the grave because of its second ability. So it's really good. It searches out your Chaos, and it allows for some power plays. And then one of the best reasons for running Magician of Chaos Advanced Ritual Art, I was playing this at 2 and Chaos form at 2. But Advanced Ritual Art doesn't require you to have the monsters in your hand in order to go off with Magician of Chaos. So you're able to use all your stuff as quickly as possible, and you can use your monsters. So you open a Rod and Apprentice, but no Dark Magician, like your Dark Apprentice got ashed or something. You can use those for links if you got into the advanced ritual art before the chaos form. And yeah, it's just overall really good. It Foolish Burial's a Dark Magician for your Eternal Soul, and it's just really good for the deck. Moving on, we've got one chaos form. I was playing it at 2, but it's kind of bricky. You don't really want to banish your Dark Magician all the time. You will have to sometimes, of course, because that's the best part of the versatility for this card. But it really is not something you want to do. But since it's searchable and it has that option, it is very good to play still. I tested it too, but I didn't like it that much. But that might just have been, I don't want to run too many rituals spell cards with only 3 rituals. So I got that advice from Charles as the Crusadia / Necroz player. I'm playing One Eye Timaeus for lols. I love this deck, but sometimes it needs a little more protection, and you don't see Extravagance every game you play. And you see this guy even less. He is definitely a legendary dragon because he does not show up when you need him. But he's a really good card for the deck. He summons out your anything, really. I was thinking about putting in some super polys, or at least one, with like they each have like a dragon and a warrior fusion and stuff now, but I wouldn't do that with a Pot of Extravagance build, of course. And then one Dark Magic attack. We're going pretty much in all one-ofs. Since the Chaos Magician is treated as Dark Magician, you can use it on your first turn usually because you can put the ritual on board. So if you're playing against like Altergeists or something like that, you're able to get this out and get this activated quickly, unlike usual. Sorry, guys. Then we got the one Illusion Magic. Search your Dark Magicians to your hand. Dodge hand traps sometimes if you're doing like if they're like Effect Veiler or Infinite Impermanence, you can dodge. But it's pretty good. It searches 2 Dark Magician from deck. Really versatile spell, and it can trigger your Magician of Chaos if you need it to. Dark Magic Inheritance banishes 2 spells and searches a spell or trap with Dark Magician, and then text just Rod with a Rod as a spell, pretty much. One Dark Magic Veil. I'm kind of doing it to fill up space, but also it does special summon a dark spellcaster monster from your hand or graveyard. So it can be used to reborn your Magician of Chaos, or summon your Apprentice to get a search, or just your Dark Magician if you want to be Trixie. And it's just a really good card. Gets cards out of your hand, gets cards out of your grave. 2 Called by the Grave. I might cut the Dark Magic Veil to run a 3rd one, but I don't see any problem with it at 2. I've always kind of played it at 2, so. And then moving on to traps, we've got triple Magician Navigation and triple Eternal Soul. Heart and Soul of the deck. However, you got to be careful about its nuke effect. And then Magician Navigation is really good. If you have multiples, it's a really good discard off of Apprentice if you can get a Dark Magician on board. And it summons 2 Dark Spellcasters from the deck. One quick caveat with the Magician Navigation and the Dark Magic Veil. You cannot summon the ritual off of Dark Magic Veil out of your hand, or with Navigation you cannot summon him out of the deck because he is a ritual and needs to be ritual summoned first. It is not clearly stated on the card, but that is the rule. So just for anyone who didn't know that and needed to know that. For extra deck, moving on, we've got the fusions first. So we'll go with the newest guy, Dark Cavalry. He's your Dark Magician and 1 warrior type monster, and he can discard a spell, or he can discard a card to negate a card that targets, which isn't bad. I mean, in an interesting situation, he could be pretty decent. He's 28 and he does piercing, but he's very situational, I assume. 2 Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. Since you're playing Extravagance, you might actually want to bump that up while you're playing Aya Timaeus, but I don't really see any problem with it. I don't see the Aya Timaeus enough anyway. Amulet Dragon, really just a fun card to play. If you're playing Sky Strikers, you can just mess with them, I guess. You're not going to win against that duel anyway. But it's fun to banish all their spells and be like, ha, 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 ha. 1 Dark Paladin, in case, you know, you get that 1 Blue Eyes player. Also, you can also negate a card and negate a spell, I believe. Yeah, you can discard a card and negate a spell, so not too bad. Quintet Magician, I don't remember why he's in here. I think I'm just gearing up for the Spellcaster Fusion card coming out, and he's just kind of in here chilling until then. Extravagance fodder. XYZs, we got Ebon Illusion and Ebon High Magician. They're both, well, Ebon High is a lot less useful than Ebon Illusion. Ebon Illusion's really good. I don't have multiples, or else I might play multiples of Ebon Illusion, but I don't go into my XYZs very often. So, number 11 Big Eye and Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon can punish your opponent for going off if you're doing anything, and also he survives Eternal Soul's nuke, so just be careful. You can't activate his effect in the deck, so don't put anything underneath him that you don't want for a while. And then number 11 Big Eyes, steal your shit. And then we got Wee Witch's Apprentice for the Lynx 2s. We're starting off. Wee Witch's Apprentice just boosts every monster in your main deck, pretty much. She's a great card. She's just the generic 2 down arrows. Crowley, the First Prophesier. You can use this with spellcasters. Right now, he doesn't have as much as a utility. If you made him with 2 apprentices you special summoned, or you made him with 2 spellcasters on the 2nd turn and you haven't normal summoned yet, you can just summon a Dark Magician from hand. So that's pretty cool. But other than that, he doesn't really do much. When I incorporate the spellbook engine, he's gonna do a lot more because he'll be able to jumpstart that engine pretty easily. But he's pretty good. Just not currently as much. Beat Cop from the Underworld, she's new from Dual Power as well. Just a fun thing to mess with. You got All Darks, generic Link 2 down if you've already used Wee Witch's Apprentice. And then she can protect your thing from nuking or battle. And then I'm just playing 2 other cards, Reproductus, because I had Summon Sorceress in here, but I guess it fell out. And Underclock Taker. I would play the Summon Sorceress over the Underclock Taker, actually. I think it just got switched by accident. But Summon Sorceress, you can do some crazy stuff with it. It's pretty hard, but you won't use a lot of the extra deck cards anyway in this build anyway. But that's been my Dark Magician build for the Ritual Monster. That's been incorporating the Ritual Monster. I have a few more builds planned, but you guys let me know what you want to see. I did want to do a Dark Magician build, or Dark build incorporating the Dark Magician Girl, and then I wanted to do a build incorporating them both. So you guys tell me what you want to see, or if you guys just want to see the decks with different draw engines and maybe some test hands with those different draw engines, let me know. This has been Shane from Team COG. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Go visit Game Time. They're a great store. They helped hook me up with all this dual power stuff. So, see you in the future.